Welcome back to this very special chat we are having with a very special guest, Mr. S.S. Mundra, Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank, who will lay down office on the 31st of July. Well, Mr. Mundra, 37 years as commercial banker in a public sector bank. Now, there are lots of solutions being suggested to improve the public sector banks. Let me take one by one. Do you think merger is a good idea?
I have spoken on this several times. On a broad conceptual level, to have a very large number of players, largely under a common ownership, maybe the majority, the percentage may differ, trying to do the same kind of thing. Some of them doing well, some are really imitating it poorly, really does not make much of sense. So on a very broad conceptual level, probably they can do more efficiently if they are, lesser in number. So maybe some duplication of resources and those kind of things can be saved. So that is on a broad level. Now comes the question of what kind of merger, and that is where I think is very important. That why the entities are there is a historical reality. They came into existence. That is a historical reality. Now the key question is, if they have to come together, what should be the motive and what fashion they should come. And that I have mentioned it. It should achieve one of the three purposes. Either coming together, they should reach to a better geographical spread, or they should have a better product range, or they should have the different kind of HR acumen which is complementary to each other. And having said that, again, it's not necessary that each of them or each small entity necessarily should lose the identity. Some of them can be very regional banks, they can be very niche banks. So that is what is important.
So what, according to you, went wrong? I mean, it's true that even private sector banks which have lent to corporates went through a lot of pain, but none of the private sector banks have 20%, 22% NPAs. According to you, what needs to be treated in the public sector banks?
Good. I think one observation which you have made is very right observation. Is not that the business segment which was picked up was wrong. It all depends that which kind of business model you chose to pick up at that point of time. And again, this is a long discourse because some of this business was easy to drive from a centralized location rather than So in the heydays, it was a good, easier model for achieving a good growth. And that point of time, it was not looking a risky model. Now, trying to achieve a high growth in a shorter period also has to do with a shorter tenure. So that is a related aspect. So if you have a given time which is short and you have to still leave your mark, or at least it means go with the satisfaction that you have been, so you will adopt the method which is easier. So there are several those such factors. But the key point is, while the underwriting had been the similar in many banks, whether they are private or public, the key point comes how soon you detect that there is a risk. That is where I come back that risk management has to be much more proactive rather than compliant. And having identified the risk, how much is your capability to exit faster, even if it means taking a hit. And I think that is where the major difference comes. Ability to enter is similar for everyone, ability to exit is not the same. And for that there are several reasons you will very
Yes. Okay. No, that's fair. What is the regret as you leave? Anything unfinished?
See, it's a going concern, like any commercial entity. RBI is not a going concern. So in going concern, there would always be certain things where the canvas is still not fully painted. I won't say regret, because even if I say had I got some more time, I would have finished them. But I am sure by then there will be few things which were still.
Yes.
So at some point of time that will come. But more if I look in supervision, as I said, RBS has seen now 3 years, it has become quite robust, a lot of work has been done. I would be really keen to know that what emerges out of RBS, and when it is shared with the industry, how ultimately it is resulting into changing the basic behavior and the risk perception of industry. AQR aftermath is, of course, is already is unfolding, and moreover, it is now a much larger ownership issue rather than sitting with supervision. So I would give up that ownership already, at this point of time. It is now in much larger and capable hands.
Yes.
But yes, on the more on developmental side, which I happen to look, I think there are three areas which are fairly good work in progress, but I would really be very happy to see. One is the whole empowerment and more work which we can do for MSME sector.
Okay.
Because I strongly believe from the viewpoint of employment, from the viewpoint of contribution, is a very important sector. And I have no hesitation to say that this sector is yet to receive a fair treatment what they deserve. So that is one. Second, lot of supply side work has been done in financial inclusion. So everyone is there supplying, government, RBI, various tools and all that. But if we don't work on demand side, then all this is an oversupply kind of situation. And third related area, when I talk about demand will come when there is a financial literacy. A lot of work, these are the work which is not spoken much. So we have done, again, a strategy paper has been prepared, that is a national strategy on financial education.
Okay.
A lot of work has done.
But I thought you would be, one of the unfinished tasks would be NPA resolution. Are you getting a sense that all the recognition is over and it is the last leg of resolution?
See, if I put very simply, my sense is over-delayed recognition is already over. There were things which were over-delayed and, AQR and all that, that journey. So over-delayed recognition is over. But having said that, does not mean that new, development would not come and they would not result into some new asset quality issues coming. And rightfully, because power sector, and as you said, power sector, there is still a large number of entities and capacity which is already under creation or implementation, and some of them are still not in the category where they may be stressed, but they are not NPA. Until and unless this whole demand and pricing equation and whole reform in power sector is concluded as it is envisaged, this sector may emerge as a potential stress.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts on your own successor? Do you think it is time that a private sector financial expert should also be there as Deputy Governor?
Lata, you are always known to put a fair question, and you have put me an unfair question this time. But since you have asked, let me tell you one thing. I mean to say, I don't want to go into the matter of whether a public sector banker or private sector banker, but what I would like to emphasize that this one office of Deputy Governor in Reserve Bank, and as you mentioned in the beginning, has relevance from the fact that it is a RBI's direct connection to the ground level realities. You can design very fine policies, but if those policies are not implementable, then those policies have no meaning. I mean to say, if I can use that Hindi old Bollywood song, Jungle mein Mor Nacha Kisne Dekha. So, a policy should not become like that. So, this office connects.
Yes.
Second important thing is, market players or the affected players from the sector also sometimes feel more comfortable in sharing, speaking. So you provide a shoulder to cry, if nothing else, at least that is available. So from where whosoever is coming, and the fact remains that 70% of your banking sector is still represented by the public sector. So putting all that together, my point is that whosoever occupies this office, and I am sure it will happen like this, that the tradition of remaining connected to the ground, providing a very frank and honest feedback to the other sections when they are working in some policy area, provided there is a receptivity and inclination. You know, it has to be a two-way traffic, and keep on keeping the communication channel open. Whosoever, these are the prerequisites of this office.
Sir, you have now been unfair to the question. You haven't quite answered whether you would see a private sector banker as now a time has come. Until now, public sector banks were 70%, 75% of the market. But now, if you look at the incremental loan growth, private sector has increased its share. So is it time?
First thing, as we always say from RBI, that our regulation is ownership neutral.
Okay.
So my inclination is also ownership neutral. Let me.
All right, Mr. Mundra, I will leave it at that. It was a pleasure covering everything that you said as commercial banker and as Deputy Governor. And I do hope you will remain in touch with banking issues and with CNBC TV 18.
Thank you very much, Lata. Always it had been, you know, honestly, I learned something while interacting with you.
Thank you very much, sir.